The TX is an all-new 3-row SUV for Lexus. Now it's going to replace the much smaller RXL. That thing didn't have a whole lot of space in that third row, but this is built on the same platform as the Toyota Grand Highlander. So you can expect the same amount of space on the inside with a little Lexus class and some upgraded materials. This is the TX 350 Luxury and is powered by a 2.4-liter turbo inline four-cylinder with 215 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque. It does have an 8-speed automatic transmission and goes 0 to 60 in about 7.8 seconds. That's not super quick, but it is a very large SUV and you're not going to be drag racing this thing very often. Fuel economy is going to come in at 20 in the city, 26 on the highway for an average of 23 miles per gallon. Still, not the greatest. It'd be nice to see that a little bit higher, but if you need more or you want more, you can opt for the 550h F Sport Hybrid with 366 horsepower and 27 miles per gallon. So that's even better miles per gallon and more horsepower. You do have one more available, and that's the 550h Plus plug-in hybrid with 404 horsepower and 29 miles per gallon. That is just amazing that they're upping the horsepower and you're getting even better gas mileage. That is awesome. What else is awesome? Let's check out this cargo space. Back here you have about 20 cubic feet, which is a decent amount of space back here. You could put a little bit of luggage back here, not a massive amount, but a decent amount of luggage. And you do have powered third row seats, so we can just press those, hold them down for a second. They're going to drop down, and while they drop down, you're going to gain up to 57 cubic feet of space. And then the last thing is, you drop that second row, you have a massive 97 cubic feet of space. Now let's go up there and let's check out this interior and all that tech stuff that Lexus gives you in this TX. I know you guys want to go see the inside, and while it's cooling off, why don't you run down there, hit that subscribe button. That'll help me get more cars just like this Lexus TX to bring to you so you can see everything there is to know about them. All right, let's go get in. Looking at the driver's door, we do have a nice good sized cup holder right down here. That's nice. There's your handle right here, and it does have this nice kind of a rubbery material on the inside. It's pretty unique. You do have your push button handle to get out, the Mark Levison speaker system, and then you turn over here and you have a powered seat with lumbar, and you also have the thigh extender right here. Pops right on out there, good probably 4 or 5 inches. And these are leather on the outside, perforated leather in the inside because they are heated and cooled. And you've got nice Alcantara running along these edges. It feels really nice. These seats are very, very comfortable. Excellent Lexus seats. Now, there is the inside, but let's get in a little bit closer and go over a few things. I love the way that this kind of comes out over the passenger, kind of just makes you feel like you're in a cockpit, makes you feel really comfortable. You do have a glove box down here. It's not very big. Luckily, there's not a whole lot of stuff in there. This is covered in Alcantara right here. This is a softer and kind of rubbery material there. And then you do have soft up here, and this ledge up here is soft also. The vents are nice. I like the shape of them. It's kind of unique. Coming across, you do have this giant infotainment screen that we will check out here in just a second. I'll pop over here to the digital driver's display. There's a lot going on in this thing. So you've got your total miles per gallon listed over here, which you can clear that out in the infotainment screen. Your center part, you can change that cluster around inside the infotainment screen. Most of your stuff is going to be done in the infotainment screen or with your heads-up display. Now over here it does show your driver assistance features down here, with the cruise control and your lane keep assist. It does have lane centering, and you can see this does have the full bubble protection that Lexus gives you. Pan back, you do have the standard Lexus steering wheel, which there's not a whole lot of description on here, but you can see there's cruise control on, and there's your lane centering button right there. This side, you just have your volume buttons. But the reason is because all of this is controlled on the heads-up display. Hopefully I can get this well enough for you guys. But so what happens is when you press a button on there, it opens that up, and then you can toggle the different things that you want to do in here. So you can adjust your following distance, you can turn on your cruise, resume. This is also plus and minus, get different modes. All of that's done there. And on the other side, this is the other side of the steering wheel. It controls your music, your phone, and all of that type of stuff. Got a menu button. You can just flip those two. That's pretty much it. Everything is done in that heads-up display, and it is pretty cool. It's really simple and easy to figure out. I picked it up in no time, and I actually love the system. At first I didn't like it. I wasn't sure about it, but I really do like it. It makes it a lot easier to use. This does come with an eye tracker, but with Lexus, you can shut that off in the infotainment screen. Let's go ahead and go over the infotainment screen. So in here, we are right now, I'm not hooked up to Android Auto, but it does have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. And I know the screen is flickering really bad on this one. All right, so you've got your music that you can control. You got your phone. Once you connect that, go down here to your car. This is going to keep track of your history and of your mile per gallon. It's going to give you your current, what you're doing right then, and we are just sitting here, so we don't have a whole lot of information on there. But you can clear that out, and then, or you can hit update. It's going to save it and then start you over again. And that also clears it out over here, and you can, I think you can actually go back. No, that kind of clears everything out, but it saves what your last drive was. We go back and we look here, and you do have all of your climate buttons are all set all across this bottom, and I love it. It's awesome. It's a great job there, Lexus. Everything is available for you to see. You can easily hit things and turn it on. You can see this does have heated and ventilated seats with an auto setting. Same with your steering wheel, and you also have auto setting on the passenger side. I love the dials here with the temperature in the middle of it. It just looks really cool, really nice. Vents right here, really easy to control and switch and blow you right in the face if you want them. You have parking assist here. I've never tried it. It's a little scary. You do have different camera views that you can see here. There's a 360 camera view. There's over the top of your vehicle. We can actually put this in reverse for you, and you can see how good that camera is. Really, really good. And then you do have the over the head also. Now we can also look here and change this view a little bit. You can go in here and wash the camera back there. That was pretty cool. The other thing is when you put this in drive, you get this screen that shows everything as you're moving forward, but it's like a X-ray of your vehicle, which is pretty cool. See how that is like an X-ray? That is pretty awesome. I really, really like that. Now moving back across here, you do have two USB-Cs for charging and one USB-C for your data plug if you want to plug in for Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, but it is wireless. You do have a phone charger right here with a little spot to hold some things, maybe some coins or something like that. You get two cup holders. Cool thing about these cup holders is that you can remove them. If you only need one cup holder but you need some extra storage space, they just pop right out and you can put them, move them around. There's two more in the back here. Do the same thing with those. That's pretty cool. All right, you do have Lexus and Toyota's little gear shifter here. So you push over, puts you in neutral. If you push over and forward, goes to reverse. Over and down is drive, and then pull down one more time, puts you into your manual position. You can use your paddles. Okay, moving on back, you can shut your traction control off. This is your drive modes. You have the auto start stop you can turn off, hill descent, auto hold, and electronic parking brake. Now we go to this center console here. This one's pretty nice. Now, if you've seen some of the ones that you press the button on the side and it flips either direction, this is a split one. You have a button on this side. You can just open up the one side, or you can press the button and open up the other side. It is pretty deep in there. You can see how far down that goes, almost to my elbow. So pretty deep, decent amount of space down in there. Okay, and this does come with the panoramic sunroof that does open. Okay, that's everything up front. Let's go hop in the back and see how much room is in this second row, which looks like there's a pretty decent amount, but what about that third row? That's where things can get a little tight. All right, let's see how much room there is back here. It looks like there's a plenty of room. I'm gonna hop in here. Driver's seat is in my driving position, and I have a good 3.5 inches of room. Not a problem there. And headroom, I have about an inch or so above my head. So really good space in the back here. All right, you can see you do have a cup holder right here, just like the front. Come up, you do have the same buttons to get out, and your emergency way to get out is to pull twice, and that's your emergency out. You can see right on top, it tells you pull twice. And then you have your Mark Levinson speaker right there. And like Toyota and Lexus, you do have another sunshade in the back, which is nice and handy, especially if you have toddlers. Now here's where you can see how much room there is. You can move this forward and backward by these levers right here, and this also aids in flipping the seat down all the way. And you have your adjustments for your backrest. Now we get on inside here, and you do have climate control back here. So you do also have heated and ventilated seats in this second row, which is pretty cool. And 2 USB-C plugs down at the bottom. Here is your center console for these captain's chairs, and just like the front, you have these little cubes that can be taken out if you don't need them. It's time. Let's go get in that back. See how much space is really back there. So there's a button right on top of the seat right here. We're gonna press that button down for a second. That's gonna slide everything up, make it a lot easier to get in. I'm gonna start crawling in, and yep, very easy to get up and inside. So yeah, that was very easy to get up inside here. So we're gonna pull this seat back, all the way back, and there. Really, my knees are touching, but just slightly. So that's gonna work out really well back here. I've slid this seat all the way back into its farthest back position, and you can see my knees are touching, but I'm not crammed in here. So it's actually pretty decent. This is doing really well. And this person in front could very easily move forward. You saw that I had about 3 to 3.5 inches of space between my knees and the driver's seat, where in my driver's position. So there shouldn't be any problem with space back here. You are going to have plenty of it. So you also have air vents right above your head, which is really nice. And you do have 2 cup holders. You also can recline your seat. So we press this little button right here, and that moves it forwards, or you can recline the seat back. That is really nice, and that goes back a decent amount. So that's about the width of my hand back there. Very, very nice Lexus. That is really, really impressive. Love that. And you also do have USB-C plug right there. To get out, you do have a little handle right here. You can pull that handle, and that's gonna flip and slide everything forward. And then you can easily get out. Let's talk a little bit about pricing now. The TX 350 starts at $55,050. If you go to the TX 350 Luxury, like this one right here, you're gonna start at $60,950. And this one we have right here with all the options and destination fee comes in at $69,814. We've been driving this for about a week, and I've really enjoyed driving it. It doesn't feel as big as it actually is. so you feel like you're driving a smaller SUV. And I like the seating position in here. The seats are great. The power is decent. It's good enough for this, but if I was going to choose one, I probably would go for the 550h hybrid. You're going to get a little more horsepower, a little bit better gas mileage, and then, as I also mentioned earlier, the 550h plus plug-in hybrid, you get over 400 horsepower and almost 30 miles per gallon. So that is the sweet spot right there. But I think probably I would just stick to it with the hybrid and just get a little bit more power, a little better gas mileage, and go that route. But like I said, this does have a decent amount of power, and we're going to try that out right now so you guys can see that. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Well, there's 60 finally. Okay, so the power is better when you are cruising at a speed and you give it some gas. It gives it a little more oomph. From a dead stop, yeah, there's not a whole lot of power there. But doesn't need to be. It's enough to get this thing moving, and that's all you really need. The space in here is really, really good. The third row seating, you can see how much space there really was back there. I was really surprised at that. I didn't think there was going to be that much. I have had the Toyota Grand Highlander on here, and it had a decent amount of space also, but for some reason I just thought maybe because Lexus likes to give so much comfort to the driver and the second row passengers, that third row might be a little tight, but it actually wasn't. There was really good room back there. My knees were touching with that seat in the farthest back position. So if that person in the second row actually moved up, which they could have, because there was 3 to 4 inches between my knees in the second row and the back of the driver's seat, could have moved that up a couple inches, and that third row person would have been perfectly comfortable. The interior layout is really nice. This screen right here is really easy to use, especially with Android Auto up, like what's on here right now. You do have a few different modes that you can pop over to. Brings up all these widgets. You can easily pop right back to the Lexus interface and right back to your Android Auto. Works really, really good. That is that is so cool. Does that little X-ray picture there when you get to a slow speed. That way you can actually make sure that you're getting close enough to the curb, or you're not too close to the curb. So maybe going through those drive-throughs, that would probably really help. The biggest thing to get used to is using your cruise control and all of your functions that's usually on your steering wheel, using them in the heads-up display. It takes some getting used to, but once you get it really easily, and you know what the buttons do when you touch it. You don't have to look at it every single time. I can easily adjust my cruise control without looking at the heads-up display every single time that I need to accelerate. Now, I do, if I'm going to a certain speed, I do have to look at it to see if I'm at that certain speed, but to do a 1-2 up or 1-2 down, I don't have to look at it at all. It is in a good spot, and you can raise the height if you want it to be a little bit higher, a little bit more in your view. So that's not a problem either. The ride in here is very good. It really absorbs any harsh bumps, and any small bumps you don't even feel at all, which is really, really good. Lexus always has a really good riding car, so I am really happy with that, and it is really quiet in here. I mean, we're at speed and I can barely hear anything outside. It's pretty cool. You know, it seems like every time that Lexus comes out with a new vehicle, they just keep getting better. They keep laying things out better, laying things out easier to use, but also have all of that technology advancement that you want. Everything has a good spot and good place for it. I don't feel like I'm ever searching around for trying to find something, or that I'm like why is this here? It shouldn't be here. It should be over here. I don't do that in this car. Everything is where I want it, where I need it. The only thing that I could really complain about is the weird gear shifter, which that's another thing that you just get used to. When you drive this or you drive a Toyota, now they have this unit in here and it works really well. It is easy to figure out. But if there's something that you could say this is unnecessary, I would say it would be this shifter would be the unnecessary item in here. That's up to you. That's your decision whether you like it or not. I think it's okay, but it'd be just as simple to have a regular gear shifter right here. Don't forget to go down and hit the subscribe button so I can get more cars just like this Lexus TX to bring to you guys. And when you're done doing that, pop back up here and click on one of the videos that are up here on the screen. One of them is going to be one that I chose for you to watch. The other one YouTube chose for you, but I think you're going to like them both. So you pick one of those videos and I will see you in the next one.